All right. All right. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone. Again, crazy time zones happening here. And this is Miss Energy's Fireside Chat. And our mission is to turn your good to great to unstoppable. And I'm here in Tacoma, Washington State, enjoying the cold, cozy, rainy 10 degrees Celsius or 50-degree Fahrenheit, but I'm not bothered by the cold. I'm wearing my posh, shiny fur coat. And well, just to set the tone of our exciting topic today. So especially to those who wants to start their business right or who have already started their small business but want to do things right. Anyway, there's a promise, right? That when you do things right, there's a lot of good things that will come your way. And the person who's I'm going to introduce to you, the one who is capable, the one who can guide you, do things right, is the owner and founder of DBR Bookkeeping. DBR stands for Doing Business Right. He's the owner, the founder, a 42-year-old, born and raised in Central Valley, California, a military leader, a QuickBooks Pro advisor, an entrepreneur, loves music. And I know you are a doctor of music.
Yes, yes, I have my doctorate in music arts. Yes.
Yeah. So, guys, let's welcome our esteemed speaker, Dr. Bryan Raya. So,
Yay!
yeah. So, how are you, Brian?
It's so great to have talk to you, Rhea. It's so wonderful I had to have you. Thank you so much. You are so awesome. What you're doing out there, promoting and helping people is just incredible. And I just think that I'm just so excited to be on the show with you today. So yes, I am Dr. Bryan Raya, DBR Bookkeeping, doing business right. All those wonderful little things you said, those are all true. Here it is in live.
And live, right? And one more thing that I forgot. So take note, ladies, he's single. I don't know if ready to mingle. That's very important, right? So
Yeah.
no kids.
Yes, I have no rings, no no
Yeah,
kids. Yes, I am.
this is documented. This will be published in
Oh my
YouTube
goodness, yeah, yeah,
globally. So yeah, you cannot escape from the world. So again, welcome. Thank you, Brian, Dr. Brian, for really joining Miss Energy Fireside Chat. And so I have my first question to you. No, I know the audience is very excited. So please walk us through this DBR bookkeeping. How did you land in this bookkeeping world?
yeah, for sure. So yes, as you said, I was a military in the military, and I have a very extensive musical background. And I was actually teaching in higher education. I've always had a big passion for teaching and service, like between the military and education. And I'm also a big proponent of the arts. And what I know as an artist and musicians is that so many musicians and freelancers really struggle with money. They really do struggle through my education. And when I was getting my doctorate, my dissertation was on the financial trends of adult community bands. We created a survey many years ago about asking organizations, how are you getting money for your organization and how are you spending money for your organization, which is basically bookkeeping. That's what bookkeepers do. So I've always had a fascination about money, business, and the arts. I was kind of thinking about my career. Higher education is it's tough, it's competitive. And so how can I help musicians in a different way besides just being just in music? And I kind of went back to this money side, and I said, well, I can help musicians with their money and bookkeeping, and I learned that. And I was like, well, money is money, and as you know, sales is sales, right? It doesn't matter what the industry is. So I kind of broadened my mindset from like, well, don't just help musicians and artists, help all entrepreneurs and what they're doing and how they can do things for the community. So I took training, and project manage it. I took, bookkeeping courses. I learned on QuickBooks. I studied it because that's what academics do. When you study anything, you learn about it. And I found mentorship programs about bookkeeping, and I just jumped in and I started a bookkeeping business from home, right here. And actually, I just celebrated my 1 year anniversary of my bookkeeping business. So doing business right has been around for 1 year. So I'm super excited about that. But that's how I got into bookkeeping.
Yeah, when you were, telling us the story, I can truly feel that you are, you want to learn, and that's what I want to see in
Mhm.
people, that no matter you're 56 or 66, you really have to grow by
Oh,
learning.
yeah.
And I love it because you are studying yourself and enabling, so it gets, the learning is much more because you're like echoing what you read,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And it makes you
Exactly.
a master, not only knowing the basics, but the more you teach and enable people, the more you remember everything, the framework and the discipline. And now you can really reach the PhD status. And now you're the neighbor DBR bookkeeping master.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really, really love what you do.
and exactly. And as an educator, we always teach people the best way to really learn something is to teach it with other people. Like if you can teach a concept, then you're really understanding mastery. And that's exactly what you're doing too. You are
Yeah.
teaching people, not
Yeah.
you're not just doing sales yourself, you're teaching
Yeah.
sales yourself.
Yeah, we want people to uplift their lives because,
Mhm.
as we say, right, the genuine love goes beyond the self. If you really truly love, you don't just help yourself, but you help your mom,
Yes,
your brother, everybody, your teammate,
yes,
those
yes.
also struggling, as you said, the musicians, and give them a better life.
Mm,
Give them because it's
exactly.
possible. It's really possible. Whether you are in the accounting, finance, bookkeeping side, or me, marketing, right?
Yeah.
Customer acquisition, business development part. We are all part of all this. The path to
Yeah.
happiness, and that is give comfort to ourselves and to our loved ones. I love that. Now, this is actually, I'm very, very interested because aside from being an employee, now I'm starting to do, my own, right? Too.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of, I have friends, um, maybe in the hundreds, that were, I don't want to use terminated, they were laid off. And
Yeah.
past year and this year, even this week, we're talking about 10,000, 200,000 employees lay off. Microsoft, Google, Meta, Facebook, Oracle, IO, all this, giants, even the mid-market technology
Yeah.
companies. So my question now is to those who are listening to us right now, who is actually compelled by the situation and wants to build up their own small business. Can you share compelling reasons why a small business owner need a reliable bookkeeper, especially in America?
Yes. Well, especially in America. Well, in America, there are a lot of laws and compliance and regulations at all levels between the state, your city, even the federal government. And, the process that we have here in America, for good or bad, is, accountability. There's a very high level of accountability. And our government, both at the national, federal level, and the state level, they do audit, they do check, they do see, hey, how did you get this money? Where is this money going? And you have to have those records for that. I know, as depending on what country you are, obviously there are very different policies and like that. But I know in America, bookkeeping is so crucial for starting that business, and especially in those first couple years, if you don't know how much money you're making, what your profit margin is, or all those type of those factors, your idea within a year or two can just die away because you don't have the cash flow, you're not doing it, you don't know where your money is at. And then if you suddenly have all these credits and debt and loans, and the government and our financial institutions will come find you, they'll stop your money, they'll cancel your credit cards. It just goes down and down a slippery slope of negativity. So especially in the US, the concept of having good bookkeepers, having good CPAs, certified accountants, is really important for any business. And even if you're just starting out, not saying you have to have a huge, robust bookkeeper, but just having somebody mentor you, give you like the big kind of key ideas of what to do, will help your business be successful, especially in that first year or two.
Yeah, I love it. So if I understand it correctly, you handhold clients, right? As you say, there's a life cycle, there's a stage one, two,
Yes,
three, four, right? And you are there with them, right? And you're
exactly.
actively, not reactively,
Yes.
teaching them.
Yes, exactly. When I work with a client, we talk about what are you first of all, what are you even trying to do? What is your business? What are you trying to achieve? Trying to get some goals in here. I'm like, okay. And then I start looking at their finances and it's a relationship. Like I have to know everything. Everything. Like all
It's
your
a business partnering. It's
yeah,
part.
yeah, it is. And so I need to know what's in your bank accounts, what credit card debt you have, what loans you have. And then we start having these conversations about how to manage that money. I look at your money and then, and the great thing about having a bookkeeper is it's not just, all right, I see your books. I'll see you in 12 months. Good luck. I am there on a weekly basis, just checking on things. Hey, what is this transaction over here? If you have any questions about this, hey, what do I do about this expense, or I got to pay, or this revenue source? What can I do about that? And we're staying proactive on that because what happens is so many business owners, when it comes time for taxes, they're going to their tax person in March and they're like, what is this expense from 12 months ago? And you're like, I don't remember. I don't, and you just start making crap up. Yeah. And what we need to do is like, that's not doing business right. You want to know exactly where your money is and at all times throughout the entire year, not just when you do your taxes.
Yeah, that's very good to know. Now, I'm hearing the way you do things, your business model. Do you have a clone? Or how do you manage your time? Like if there are like seven, callers today, how do you go about like how do you segment your time to multiple customers?
Yes. Well, time management. This goes for any entrepreneur. Time management is key, and I actually mentioned that in my book. We'll talk a little more about my book later. But I actually have a whole chapter on time management. It's time blocking. It's being really disciplined about what you're doing, setting a certain time to do certain tasks, prior prioritizing your tasks, saying, all right, so for some clients on this day, I'm going to be focusing on their stuff for this hour or two. And then, all right, I gotta do some social media stuff. So then I'll shift. I'm doing social media stuff, and then, all right, I'm gonna go do some networking. I'm gonna do, trying to look for leads and do all of that. I have a certain time for that, and so it's just all about good time management, which is a struggle for so many entrepreneurs, including myself. I am not perfect. I am the first to admit I am not perfect. It's something I work on every day, but it is one of the key aspects that I think any entrepreneur just needs to continually improve.
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear that because even in my sales swagger, like Sales Rockstar Masterclass, that is also part of my book and my teaching, time blocking.
Exactly. It's
If
that.
I can also time block the key members of the team, just a placeholder to remind them that this is submission date and we need to work backwards like what we did. That's why it
Exactly.
was so easy for both of us to collaborate, with the busy schedule that you have, the busy schedule of mine. But see, you were able to really like time block and submit information that I need to know before this actual chat. And to me, that's how I really get to know a person if you're a professional and if I
Exactly.
really want to work with you.
Hmm.
Because, of course, we are a team. In order for us to progress, like step one, step two to step 10, we should really be together, moving forward. I love
Exactly.
that. And
Hmm.
both believe in that. So
Exactly.
this actually pushes me to ask you, talk about the fear. I want to understand what is the extreme fear that you have shared or faced with a client in terms of you're going to can you go to jail?
Yes. Yeah. I actually have a client, and probably about once a month, he is like, "I am so happy because Brian, I don't want to go to jail." It's like he goes, "My face is too pretty for jail." He's like, and I'm like, no. And I was like, I get you, man. I understand. And if he's watching this, I got you. But there is legitimate fear. People are very scared about the government and tracking them down. But it's not just about going to jail. It's about the longevity of their business. It's about whether they can be successful or not. There is a legitimate fear of failure. There's a fear of success too. But I think some people are like, well, what if this doesn't work? And I don't know about accounting. I don't know about sales. I don't know about marketing. What if? What if? What if? What if? And there is some serious fears that really do hold people back when it comes to their business. And even when they have their business, I know so many people who don't like, well, what is your profit margin? Do you even know your profit margin? And they're like, I really don't know. I have money in my bank account, so I guess that means I'm okay. And I was like, you really can't make good financial decisions for the long term, right? And why do you want to have a business for your long term? For your family, for the future of what you're trying to do, so that you can help people, not just today, but help people for the next generation with your business, with your endeavor. So these are legitimate fears that I hear all the time when I talk to clients, friends, colleagues in all industries.
Yeah, I think yeah, with what you're doing, you can really solve, world's problem,
Mhm.
one day at a time.
Exactly,
And
one problem
now,
at a time.
yes, one day, one step at a time. And now I'm thinking of, will you be open to have like fundamentals or principles 101 of bookkeeping, and just work side by side with me on fundamentals of
Oh
selling
yes,
right? Yeah,
yes, yeah. It's there are some basic fundamentals, as you know, on sales.
yeah,
There's fundamental things that you got to do, and
need to know.
even in bookkeeping, there's some very fundamental things that need to be just like if you do these few things,
uh
it will set you up for success.
Correct. Yeah, that's why it's fundamentals, right? It's like I always use this, like, of course we're not dummies, but the book, I mean, Computer for Dummies 101, or Microsoft Excel Dummies 101. Yeah, and it really helped a lot of people. I actually bought
Yes,
one book before when I was struggling doing all my spreadsheets and PowerPoints, and it
yeah.
helped me
Well,
a lot now in doing my presentations.
yeah, well, I have a doctorate. I have 9, 10 years of education on me. I have learned so much. But
I'm
what you
sure.
realize is that the more you learn, the more you realize what you don't know. And that's what we're talking about in the beginning, right? Continually learning, right? We're both in our 40s, right? But we're
Right.
still learning, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? We're going to keep
Yeah.
learning into our 50s, into our
I
60s,
know. I
all the way to the
know.
end. And
All the
that's
more that I want to learn. Actually, I just felt when I reached the age of 40, 45, it seems that all the more that I want to learn.
exactly, and that's how I am. That's why I'm not. I am continually learning.
Mm,
As I'm continually developing, I'm learning new technologies, new techniques, new
right.
strategies. Because I know I'm not perfect, and that's
Yeah.
okay. Because that's part of the journey, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
for
agree. And
me.
especially it's fun when you do it with people, like
Exactly.
the people you like
Exactly.
and admire and adore, because they just possess a certain, like ethics. Their ethics are 24 hour by 7. And it's just so nice to be with this tribe, right? The positive
Mhm.
tribe.
Mhm.
Yeah. So talk about your books. How will
Awesome.
people, get them? Yeah, any promotions?
Yeah, yeah. Let's definitely talk. So I actually have a copy right here. Here it is. It's right. It's got a cool little cover of some American figures here. It's green, right?
Yeah.
It's the essential small business guide to financial management. It is available on Amazon, both as ebook, paperback, hardback, and just a week plus ago, actually 2 weeks now, it's on Audible, so you can listen to the entire book, and as many times as you want. You listen to certain chapters. And what I'm really proud about this book, and I've gotten so much feedback already in this first month. I have over 50 plus reviews on this book. I
Nice.
have like 40 reviews on the Audible book. And what a lot of people are commending on is that it's a small business guide. It's simplified. It's not this really complex business book with all these terms and
That will
corporate.
give me migraine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my,
Less
it's not.
stress is best.
Exactly. I really designed this book and crafted it to like what are the most important things for business owners to know. And not just that, small business owners, entrepreneurs. And that is like the key to it. So it talks about creating a budget. What is a budget? How what does it mean to craft that budget? It talks about debt management at the small business level, credit management at the small business level. It talks about financial statements, those basics of like what is a profit and loss, what is a balance sheet. And so that's like a good core of the book because that's your basic money. If you're going to be a small business owner, entrepreneur, you need to understand the basics of money, and
I
this is what this
love
book
that. I
really
want to be
does.
your student. Yeah, that's why I'm very, very interested because, now that you're saying it, I want to grab the book and look at the chapter that talks about cash flow. Talks about, as you said, balance sheet. People talk about balance sheet, statements, general ledger all the time. But if you ask, do you really have you seen one? No, right? And that's why I'm so excited because my network, like in the technology sales arena, a lot of my friends, I am into Oracle, NetSuite, Microsoft, and all
Yes,
this financial management system, and I've been doing it for 25, 26 years. I'm dealing with CPAs and bookkeepers ourselves and CFOs, and I know that not all people know what you're talking about
yeah,
now, and especially I want to help my friends too who are single
exactly.
moms and that were laid off, and I know a lot of our audience right now listening. I know that they're really very excited to get to know even just basic syllabus, and it will be fun if you and me are, together combined, and if I can also like enable them on the basic how to be a sales rock star when you're starting a
Yes,
business, and how do you really keep all the cash flow going for you and not fail. So I think, yeah, we're both the lifeblood of a small business.
yeah, exactly. And kind of going
Business.
back to cash flow, the very beginning of the book, the number one issue with any small business or entrepreneur goes back to cash flow. That is the number one. It's not the idea. It's not their work ethic. It's not necessarily marketing. It's not their time management. It's like, do you have cash to operate your business? That is one of the number one reasons why businesses fail is because of cash flow. And my book talks about, I think with you, Ria, it was like, well, what's the best way to improve cash flow? It's more sales, but not just getting more sales, but getting sales effectively. Not just throwing money out there hoping that you're going to make some money, but it's like being very targeted, being very efficient with your sales, to really maximize your return on investment, ROI, right? And that's what I love about what you're doing is because it's not just about like selling. All right, just sell all. Like let's be very focused, targeted, so we can maximize our ROI, so we can maximize our cash flow, which is what we talk about in here, right? Because that's the number one thing for any small business or entrepreneur.
Yeah, it is method led. I think what's important is you're not just flying away and floating and selling
Yeah,
without that method, because
yeah,
it's an art and it's a science,
it
and it's a
is.
lot of love in nurturing your personality, how you give love, and enablement to your, as you say, right, your customers or prospects. So this is kind of off topic, but I'm sure the audience would love to know. Not all about work, work, work. What do you do when you're not working or you're not doing bookkeeping? What makes a Dr. Bryan happy, motivated?
Oh, well, that's funny you ask. So I will say that when you're an entrepreneur and small business owner, especially as you know, and especially when you're in your first year or two, you work a lot. It's you really your life is your business and your business is your life, and so that is very true. I do work a lot. I'm always doing something. I'm always thinking about what can I do. But when I do relax, I actually do. Obviously, I love music. So I enjoy listening to music. I enjoy going to concerts. I enjoy supporting arts, theater, dance, anything like that. I do like sports. I love American football, and basketball and things like that. This is one of my little things, but I do like casinos. It's I actually have a little bit of background in the casino industry as a pit boss. So I like cards and dice, and I've actually poker and those type of things. I think because there's numbers and there's math kind of involved, and a little bit of risk, yeah, obviously, because it's gambling, it's casinos. That's always been a fun venture of mine.
And
But
it's the thrill.
yes, it's the thrill, right? And
Thrill.
right, and when if you become an entrepreneur, guess what? You're gambling. You are taking a gamble with your money, with your time, with your resources. And so if you're like, I don't like to gamble, like, well, then entrepreneurship is probably not for you. But really, what I love to do, what makes me the most happy, is just meeting awesome people like you, Rita. I just love connecting with people who have energy, people who like to collaborate, people who just like have a passion for life, a passion for what they do, whether it be construction or sales or insurance. I know some really passionate insurance people, and I was like, I still love them. That's great. That's my favorite thing to do when I'm not working, is just being with great people. That's what I love to do.
Yeah, we're the same. It just ignites you already have the power and energy, but it just fuels your energy all the more, right? You feel it
Ex-
right now, right? I
yes,
feel it.
exactly.
Yeah, and you want to do more. You want to like expand more, collaborate more, and put everything, put whatever talents that you have with these people, all the more, out there. So yeah, so I'm also conscious of the time. This is a nice
Mhm.
fireside chat. Very, but I know that we will be doing more together, like those principles and probably a very cute, syllabus for those who are very interested. In newer parts of the world, we can do, cloud is king right now. Even if you're from New Zealand or from Philippines, or
Yes.
from California, we can just use our social media accounts to say that, hey, we're doing our master class, together, accounting and sales. So I think this is just one of, or the last questions, no, that I would like to bring out. So anything you want to share with the audience, those who are listening right now, anything about
Oh yes.
DBR bookkeeping, what sets you apart from the rest? There's like thousands of bookkeeping services, and why you? Why DBR bookkeeping?
I think for me, it's that it's my background, it's my understanding of people. A lot of bookkeepers and accountants, no offense against my colleagues, um, are very business oriented, they're very numbers and spreadsheets. And I think what makes me unique is that I can talk to you. We can have conversations. We can, I can feel your pain, and express it with you. And I think that I am continually wanting to learn, right? I'm continuing to develop. I learned through my process of writing this book, and I want to share that. I'm an educator. I want to mentor. I don't just yell at you, go like, your books are wrong. Get it? Because that's hard, and because this stuff is tricky. It is tricky, and to have someone there with you to kind of help you out is huge. I also host a podcast, Doing Business Right. Doing something is that, as you've learned, I want to promote people. I want to engage others. I feel it's not about my success. It's about my client's success. It's about what they're going to experience. It's not about like, cool, your books are done. Have a great day. I go to grand openings for my clients. I support my clients. I share their social media. I like their social media. I try to get other people to go check out what their business is, because I want them to be successful. And I think that's something very unique for me at DBR Bookkeeping, that I'm very proud of.
Actually, I'm very proud of you. I have like thousands of networks and friends. I've never seen the way you have, the rhythm of you sharing Miss Energy,
Yeah.
and you're not even like 10-year friends. And that's something that I find it's priceless. Like you're a diamond, actually. That's why I want you to also have a lot of queries, a lot of deals, a lot of calls coming your way, after this, fireside chat, because it's like the way you are helping me, it's just phenomenal. Even my team is like always texting me, "Oh, Dr. Bryan Raya, it's just amazing. I hope that everybody has the heart that you have, so that
Thank you.
everybody
I
will
appreciate it.
thrive. This at this day and age, yeah, digital marketing is important, but it's actually the people who supports you who are really very important.
Exactly. It all goes back to people. In the end,
Yeah,
it
I
goes
can see Ernie. I
back
can
to
see. I can
yeah.
see your team. It's like I cannot mention all the names now, but my heart is so happy. And if there's anything that Miss Energy team can do for them, teach them how to be a rock star, I will share also my knowledge of my 27 years,
Yeah, I
experience
know. And
with.
again, yeah, you're doing amazing things. We love what you're doing here. Pacific, Northwest Arkansas is like, who is this Miss Energy person? And I was like, my network is
Oh,
already going like, no, she's
I
the
know.
real deal. And that's what's so great about what we're doing, right? Is that
Yeah.
we're not just thinking about the people in our local community. We're like,
No.
how can we really help everybody and
Yeah.
really change the world, like you said before,
Yes, yes,
change
one
the
step at
world.
a time, and
Exactly.
we just want to enable, especially now, we know it's a fact that there's a lot of people who lost their jobs. I was
Mhm.
just talking to my neighbors, in Ocean Shores, Washington, and we're open to, have you there and host. I'll cook adobo, lumpia, pancit, bihon, all these
Yes,
Filipino
yes.
recipes. I'm also a chef and a cook, and people come to my house because they just want me to cook and do my masterclass pork belly adobo. They call me the adobo girl in
Oh my,
Washington, not only a Miss Energy girl. So I'm opening, my doors also to, good people like
it's
you,
great.
your team, your
Exactly.
family. So I want to let you go, but I have one more thing to say that Brian, I really look forward to for us to have the combo, like a combo masterclass, and try it. Expand our knowledge to other people who really need it today.
Yes.
Bookkeeping, DBR, doing business right, how to be a sales swagger, even if you're just starting your small business,
Hmm.
and you want to have more leads, prospects, and the sustainability, as you said, and not
Yes.
go to jail and erase
Exactly.
the
Yes.
fear. I think we're going to give them a balanced life. So thank you, Dr. Bryan
Oh,
Raya and your team. It's an amazing chat. I'm
thank
just
you.
sorry that we're not sharing any French vanilla hot mocha
I know. We're
today,
having.
but I know
Well,
that we will soon.
we will. Yes, we will. It's been a pleasure, Ria. You are Miss Energy. You are the boss. You are have swagger up everywhere. I love it. And thank you so much for having me on here. I am so grateful. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I
Thank
am
you.
very blessed too for knowing DPR bookkeeping. And so this is not the end of it all. We will still
Yes, this is
develop
just the
something
beginning.
amazing for the world to start in the US, and we do global,
Yeah. Right.
implement. Yeah. Thank you so much, Brian. And
All
to my
right.
team, Miss Energy, Lady Boss, Rem. Bye. I'll see you
Bye.
soon. Thank you so
Good night.
much.